In the last video, we looked at inserting tables and matrices into our LaTeX documents. In this final video of the series, we'll discuss creating larger documents. In the previous videos, we've used the document class article. This document class is useful for producing short documents, for example, articles for scientific journals. If, however, you want to create a longer document, you would be wise to use either the book or report class. Both of these classes enable you to add chapters in, while this wasn't an option in the article class. When writing longer documents, it is wise to split up your document into multiple files. This makes our projects more modular and it makes them a lot tidier. I will now demonstrate this by creating an example document with the report class. This first text file is what is called the root document and is the file that will draw the whole document together. We begin it just like the documents we've made before, with a preamble specifying what document class we want to use and which packages we want to load up. For this document, I want to write 5 chapters. If we weren't splitting our document up, we would just start writing the chapters in between the begin document and end document commands using the chapter command. Instead, we create a new text file for each chapter. Here's an example. Notice that in this text file, we haven't written a preamble or even used a begin document command. We have just started with a chapter command and then composed the chapter, splitting it up into sections. I have now created all 5 files, and you can see them and easily switch between them from the project panel on the left-hand side. Now we will return to the root document. To add our individual chapters into the actual report, we use the input command, followed by the file name of the file we want to add to the document. Now if we compile the document, we can see that LaTeX has added in our chapters and automatically numbered them. An alternative command to input is the include command, which would also add our chapters into the document. However, there are a couple of differences between the two commands. Firstly, the include command forces whatever is in the included file to be started on a new page, whereas input doesn't. Of course, in our example, it won't make any difference because all of our non-root files start with a chapter command, which automatically starts a new page regardless. The second difference is that input allows you to nest input commands in files that are already being inputted by the root file. For example, I could split chapter 5 into multiple text files. Draw them together in the chapter05.tex file using input commands, and then input the completed chapter into the document in the same way as before. The include command won't allow this. The next thing I want to talk about is adding a table of contents. LaTeX will automatically generate a table of contents if you include a table of contents command. You'll notice that LaTeX has added all the numbered sections down to the subsection level. You can change the level to which the table of contents goes down to using a setCounter command in the preamble followed by the keyword TOC_depth and then a number. If I want it to include subsections, I can use the number 3. Or maybe we just want the chapter titles, and so we use the number 0. At this point, I should inform you that if you aren't using Share LaTeX as your LaTeX editor, you may have to run LaTeX more than once for tables of contents to appear correctly with the right page numbers. Share LaTeX streamlines this process into one click of the green Recompile button. When writing a longer document, you may want to store your graphics in a separate folder or multiple folders. For example, in this project, my graphics have been stored in a folder called my_images. If I now load up the graphics package and add an include graphics command in chapter 1, the compiler will give us an error. This is because the image is in a different folder to the TeX files. To fix this error, we use the graphics path command in the preamble of the main TeX file and enter the folder name followed by a /. Now LaTeX will know where to look for the graphic. This brings us to the end of our discussion on writing longer documents, and also to the end of our basic tutorial series.